Hello, William Toel is here. Disaster is coming soon to Germany. And over the next few minutes, I will tell you why. In July of 1988, I was in the DDR, and when I returned to the West, I spoke to several prominent people, including President von Weizsäcker, about what was about to happen. The wall would come down, Germany would be unified, and the Soviet Union would dissolve. Well, of course, no one believed me. It was unimaginable. Now, since then, I've returned to Germany about 50 times and spoken publicly about things that were about to happen. In early 2007, I warned members of the Bundesbank of the impending credit crisis. In March of 2015, I warned many members of the press about the looming wave that was about to sweep over Germany. In June of 2021, I spoke of the arrival of a perfect storm that would enter Germany dramatically and would have several events, including a specific event in late January or February of 2022, one that would cause everyone to be astonished. Well, how did I know these events in advance, and why in Germany? Because God has appointed me to be a watchman on the wall for Germany, and He alone has made me a Fürsprecher for the German people. Well, this is why I have been able to speak so confidently of events that were unimaginable at the time. The Lord does nothing without first revealing His plan to His servants, the prophets. These prophets are the spiritual watchmen who relay God's word and warning to the people. But why Germany? I am an American patriot. Because God has a special role for the German people in the world, and He wants them to take up that unique and special role. Well, that's why He tore down the wall. This is why He unified Germany once more and allowed them to become incredibly prosperous. This belief that God has given you a special role and that He has appointed me as His spokesman is what has driven me to make all these trips at my own expense and to pour out my life into this work. Well, I have no organization behind me. In the last 18 months, I have held 250 group meetings in all 16 Bundesländer, meeting face-to-face with more than 10,000 people. The first step for a people to take up that responsibility that God has put before them is that they must be true to who God made them to be. Well, this is what I've been speaking about in hundreds of meetings and videos, that you must be comfortable in your own skin. You must be fully and unashamedly who God created you to be, German. But your leaders do not encourage you in this. In fact, they work against you. There are many reasons that they do not want you to be German. They control you with fear, and they tell you that you have some inner monster that must be controlled. That if you are ever German again, you will do awful things. Well, this is not love. This is the opposite of love. They don't love you. because they don't know God, and God is love. Because they don't know God, their ears are closed to His plan. Whether they listen or fail to listen, God speaks, and His will is done. This is why disaster is coming to Germany. And the false prophets, well, they dress the wounds of God's people. They say, peace, peace, but there is no peace. Your leaders have led you astray. They have rejected God, and they have rejected His way. Your prosperity and your many foreign alliances have made you complacent and smug. You have not learned of your responsibility. Your ears are closed, and you cannot hear. Now, over the last year, I have been encouraging people to find others of like kind, those who are awake to what is happening in Germany. This summer's challenge is to make 1,000 new friends. Well, these aren't Facebook friends, but real friends you can count on when times get rough, and they will get rough for a little while. Now, I've consistently said that there will be a second wave of the perfect storm coming from a different direction, and that it will be powerful enough to sweep away the old and to make way for the new. It will begin this summer and last for 5 months. Well, there will be woe upon woe upon woe, lament and mourning. Now, I have said directly to you that there is nothing that can stop this, for it is the only way to German freedom. The people must return to God with all their heart. Well, the perfect storm is God's arm at work, specifically to prepare the German people for the special role He has created for them. Well, there will be new leaders who know God and who love you for who you were created to be. I have brought you a vision of a very bright future, and that still awaits you. But it cannot come as long as the majority of you remain sleeping in arrogant complacency.